Hey everyone, I'm Colin West with the Mod Golf Podcast. Just had another amazing, engaging podcast sessions, long form audio on the Mod Golf Podcast with this week's guest, and that is Kat Ramirez, who is the founder of Golfing Buddy. Kat does way more than that in the marketing and sales space, business as far as what she does, podcaster, professional speaker. Wears so many different hats. I don't know. She only has one head, so I don't know how she does it all. But here, we're going to bring her on here so we can actually see that head, that these multiple hats go on. And there she is. Kat, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining me again.
Hey, Colin, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, hey, we had a couple icebreaker questions on the audio podcast that were lots of fun that I do encourage our viewers to go back to become listeners, and I will include that link down below as I always do. The questions were, of course, what was your first ever golf experience? And also a business one, what was your worst job? So I got to kind of flip the script on those, kind of similar vibe, but different ingredients. So I'm going to start with golf. Now, share with us what you consider, because what you do with a Golfing Buddy is all about experiences. Tell us one of your favorite, most awesome golf experience ever, whether it's something you did with a shot or something you experienced. So start with that. You're all about experiences. Tell us about your best golf experience ever.
Okay, awesome. And it's very easy for me to answer because I'm really bad at chipping. Okay, really bad. And I make it a point to work that and really, perfect that. So I was part of a women's league, and I had the ball in, wherever outside the putting range, and I chipped it in. And I was so excited.
Woo-hoo! Good
It was
job. Good
it was
job.
my first chip in, and that course that I played in, you won a prize when you chip in. And so when I got back to the clubhouse, they all celebrated me and I got a prize. It was so exciting. It was like, I don't know, it was fun and it was memorable.
Love that. See, that's what we talk about, memories, experiences that are shared with friends and
Yes.
community. And that is what you're doing to amplify that all with Golfing Buddy that we're going to talk about in a second. But now my second question on the two-parter here. Once again, we talked about what your worst job ever was on the podcast, and your answer was awesome. So I do encourage people to go back to listen to that. But share with us now, flip it around. What was your best job ever, and what positive takeaways did you take from that?
Okay. And again, that's an easy answer. If you had asked me, I don't know, I've been an entrepreneur now for 9 years. If you had asked me prior to my 9 years, Kat, where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself landing? I would have said corporate America. I drank the Kool-Aid, I guzzled it. And I am so surprised how much I love being an entrepreneur. I'm so surprised. And I wish I would have done it sooner. I so wish I had the guts to do it sooner. I just never saw myself as an entrepreneur. And I'm actually a very good fit for an entrepreneur because I'm so driven and, focused and goal oriented. There's so many things there, right? That just makes me a great entrepreneur, but was never really kind of guided or told or, just never looked at it or thought about it. And I love being an entrepreneur.
Love that. Love that. So we did talk a lot about Golfing Buddy, about your backstory and the aha moment and all that. So we want, once again, people to go back and listen to that because your story is and your journey is fantastic. But let's just talk about where you are now and perhaps even the future of where you see Golfing Buddy going. So to start with, why don't you let our viewers know what Golfing Buddy is and why you do what you do?
Yeah. So Golfing Buddy is really about empowerment and helping people find people that are just like them, you and I, to play golf with. And so it really is about finding people that you're going to have fun, right? Connecting to, whether that's going to be a social golf or whether you're looking for new friends or you're looking for people to collaborate with work or whatever, whatever it is that jazzes you about golf. Golfing Buddy is about connecting those like-minded people together so that they have a great experience playing golf and they play more golf. They connect to more people and they play more golf. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to help people connect each other together, right? Based on their common interests, not a score, a common interest. And that way, when you do get out on the golf course, you're relatable and it's someone that you can talk to and you don't feel the stress or anxiety, that you actually have a good time and a good experience. And maybe you connect with someone that, you take that relationship to the next level, or maybe you connect someone and you never see that person again. It's, it's all part of the, meeting new people, right? So it really is to remove that anxiety, that stress of playing with people that you're going to be fearful of thinking they're better than you, right? Better than you.
Yes.
And I just want to remove that.
I love this. And one thing you touched on during our podcast recording was that with golfing buddies, excuse me, you're not the first one to market with this concept, with this idea. And a lot of people out there think it has to be unique. If I'm creating something, it's got to be from a blank piece of paper, rather than true innovation and true entrepreneurship is seeing patterns and trends that are emerging and coalescing and taking elements from different businesses and different industries and different sectors that work and bringing those together, in this case, into golf. And also, I know with ourselves, the first thing we did as entrepreneurs in the golf space way back in 2013, we were very proud. No one is doing this. No one has done this before. We thought that was like this great badge of honor and this real value add to it. But in fact, when we're talking about to partners and potential investors, it's big red flags. They're like, well, why hasn't anybody done it? Is that because it's such a bad idea or it's not a business? Where with what you're doing, I know with my friend Lydia Davies, who out of Houston is creating with teammates. So similar to what you're doing, but the market is big enough for all of you here, right? It's that growth mindset that I know that you embrace, not that mindset of finite resources and we're all fighting over the same toys in the sandbox or the pieces of the pie. The fact there is growth, and you used another term too, as being gracious and gratitude. So growth through gratitude. So tell us a little bit about your mindset of partnerships and gratitude and giving back and helping others, so that ultimately they'll want to help you.
Yeah. So, a big thing for me is I see competition as a compliment, right? We all came about our solution in different paths or different experiences in our life. And that's a great thing. And that's awesome. And so some people, depending on their passion, are going to be successful with their entrepreneur, startup, or role, and some people might fail, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that was a bad idea. It just means that sometimes the ducks didn't lie in a row, with what your product or service or good is. And so for me, I'm going to be passionate about Golfing Buddy because I'm about diversity and inclusion. And my platform is about, women golfers, minority golfers, adaptive golfers, parents with junior golfers, beginner golfers. So that's the universe I'm playing in, right? So not everybody who has a program like mine is going to play in that universe, but that's my universe. And I'm okay with it because I'm relating to that universe. I'm a veteran, I'm a woman, I'm a minority, and I'm a parent of a junior golfer. So I can relate to a lot of those things. But the other thing too is when creating those partnerships is I'm okay with taking my time and generating revenue because A, I have a job that's feeding me, but B is I want to make sure this is set up right and that the focus is still the focus and the target is a target. So me going to organizations and offering this as a free product to get people to sample it and use it, to me, that will pay off in the long run, as far as, you have to give a little to get a little, right? And I'm not saying that I'm always going to be giving, but I am up until the point till I can. And if I can serve a need and help these organizations that are having a hard time of getting people to connect, or they can use it as a vantage point, right? As a power piece that they can add to their organization or membership, that they're like, hey, this is part of your membership. You get this free where you can connect to the golfers and what have you. So I really am about the gratitude and thankfulness in creating these partnerships where it's pro bono. I'm just trying to help people out because it's a win-win. If it's a win-win, it makes sense, right? You don't want to do it if it's not a win-win. You're going to lose your pants.
Absolutely. There it has to be a value exchange there.
Exactly.
And we know that out there, sadly, there are bad actors or people that will take advantage of a situation, and they're more than happy to take, and they're not willing to give. And that's just as far as hanging around those right people, right? Like surrounding yourself with good people. And it sounds like you've done that. And I do my best to do that also. And everybody I've met on the podcast, including you, they're all good people. So I've managed to extend my good people network over the years without question. And it's all about the partnerships you talk about to propel yourself forward. And I know some introductions I can make for you, if you don't know them already, with Elisa Godet, who is the founder of Women's Golf Day, and Azucena Maldonado, who heads up Latina Golfers Association out of LA. Like, these are groups, for me, it just seems like a slam dunk for you to connect with them. And there is that value exchange. It is a win-win that helps to propel you all forward. So, hey, as we finish up here, I just want to get a little bit real here for a minute, as far as your journey as a female founder, as a woman entrepreneur. I saw on LinkedIn just the other day, back to Lydia Davies again, her talking about her experience with a potential investor, and she has 2 young children. And this man, middle-aged man, asked her, does she have a family? And unfortunately, where this unraveled, him then questioning her commitment to her startup because she has other responsibilities. And of course, we all just went off on LinkedIn to support her. And it just saddens me and frustrates me that women receive less than 5% of angel and venture capital funding, and women make up more than 51% of the world's population. Like, it's just not acceptable. And that has to change, and it's not changing fast enough. So perhaps you can share with us, and go, you can get as real as you want here with this, just as far as your experience, your frustration, opportunities as a woman entrepreneur, but also the challenges that are there, and your personal experience in that realm, especially as you're looking to ramp up and look for investment over the next little while.
Yeah. I think a big part of that is that women are insecure a majority of the time and don't have the confidence that a man typically probably would have, because, the money is there. Yes. Is the audience the same? No, it's male to male, right? Male to male, whereas female goes to male. And so I think the problem that exists there is that women don't think like men, right? They don't think like men, and they're not as confident when they're approaching investors. And so, you really have to attack it as you have to have that confidence and know that your product is just as good as anybody else's, right? And as long as you can stand by it and have the confidence to talk about it, to put it in front of the right people, I think that would help someone. The thing I haven't encountered is, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to encountering rejection from investors. I am looking forward to it. I embrace it. I say, bring it on, because, as a sales background, I do know that you have to hear a bunch of no's to get to that yes. I can't get to that yes if I don't hear a bunch of no's, and I'm ready. I want to hear the no's,
You're braced for it. See, that's why I think even though I play a lot of golf, I played a lot of baseball growing up. And baseball, if you're successful as a batter 30% of the time, or even 25% of the time, you're doing great, right? So that's a success. So I know with in entrepreneurship, our skins have to be even thicker there and more resilient. The fact is our success rate is even less than the worst batting average in the major leagues.
Right.
And that's just the nature of the beast. So to finish up here, as a kind of multi-time founder and entrepreneur, there's women out there watching today that have some ideas, are considering entrepreneurship or the transition or looking at a side hustle, but maybe don't have that confidence through knowledge or connectivity. Perhaps there's a couple of pieces of advice that you can provide for them to finish up here to give them some confidence to start their journey.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm probably a great example. I'm not the best golfer. I don't know everything about golf. I know that I love golf. I know that I have this passion for golf, and I know that I also want more people to love golf like I love golf. But I'm not an expert. Like if you go play golf with me, I'm really bad. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm out there to socialize. So the thing I would say to anybody, any female starting out that wants to be an entrepreneur is, if you have the passion for the product or service or goods that you're representing or what you're trying to launch, that speaks volumes to your knowledge and everything else. Because I will tell you one thing, when I talk to people one-on-one about Golfing Buddy, they are excited because I'm excited. They're excited because I'm excited. They're not excited because they like the product. They feel my energy, right? They are just eating it up, and they love that excitement. And if you can be excited about your product, you don't have to be an expert, but if you can be passionate and excited about it, I promise you it will take off. You know what I mean? Like people will gravitate to you.
Love this. And that excitement is belief in a pure
Yes.
passion for what you're doing. And it's part of your why with Simon Sinek. And it's, it's this famous kind of YouTube piece from a TEDx talk about over 10 years ago, right? The power of why. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. Because we know this entrepreneurial journey, it's not a straight line up like this. It's up and down, and there's peaks and valleys, and you're down in the ditch, and it's easy to give up because you get frustrated, or you're having hard times, and it's you feel like you're going backwards, or you wake up in the middle of the night, it's like, this is the dumbest idea ever, what am I doing? It's like, and then you wake up and it's like, it's okay, I got this. But that's part of the process and part of the experience. And if you're just doing it for the money, if you're just doing it to try to flip something quickly, when times do get tough, and they always will get tough, you'll have those moments of questioning, you'll just be on to the next bright, shiny thing. So that passion, that energy that I can pick up from you, that's authentic, that shows that you have the capacity and the desire to execute and see this through. And I know you do with Golfing Buddy. Absolutely. So, hey, Kat, as we finish up here, why don't you let our viewers know where they can actually learn more about Golfing Buddy, where they can find you, where they can sign up for free for your platform, and all those good things?
Yeah. So anybody can sign up. It's at golfing-buddy.com. It is completely free. Make sure you do sign up for the free VIP. It says free underneath it. If you don't, no worries, I'll take care of you. If you want more information about my mission, my story, corporate partnerships or organizations I support, that's at golfingbuddy.info. INFO. I put a lot of information there, and I blog, and my whole story is there. And then if you want to see the partners that we're talking to or have partnered with, that's at golfingbuddy.co. And again, all of it is completely free. I'm about filling the house. I need to fill the house in order to show, right, that it's a viable product. And so I'm all about filling the house. If you are an entrepreneur and you're starting out and you want, someone to talk to, or, throw something against, find me on LinkedIn, connect with me, find me on LinkedIn. I am happy to talk to anyone, because I was there and I know how alone it can feel. And I know how, if you can't talk to family and friends, which I get that some people are not going to be truthful, they're going to tell you, yeah, it's great, and you want honest opinion, reach out to me. I'm happy to have a chat.
Well, I know on LinkedIn you are very active. Hey, you're willing to talk to me. So if you're willing to talk to me, you're probably willing to talk to pretty much anybody, I guess. So hey. And also down below in the notes, I will include all the links, as we mentioned, for Golfing Buddy, and also with your LinkedIn profile there to connect with you there. So Kat Ramirez, founder of Golfing Buddy. This has been a second awesome conversation. Love what you're doing. You are amazing. I learn something from you every time you talk. And thanks for being with me again on the Mod Golf Podcast and our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Thank you, Colin. I loved this. This was awesome.